The singles market this week just exploded. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today for another top 10 video. The hottest selling cards in Magic that we do every Saturday by volume. How many copies actually sold? And you know what I've learned? Expect the unexpected because this is different. Alright? You have to understand that we knew March the Machine was kind of slowing down. I kind of expected some cards from Aftermath to be on this list, but they're not here. There's not a single Aftermath card on this list right now. Even on the pre-sales, it's too low to even be bothered with. The sales you'll see today, things from Throne of Eldraine all the way through to Dominaria United. And of course, we got guys coming back from the Brothers War. This is your top 10, the hottest selling cards. I want to know what you guys think in these comment sections at the end of the video because this stuff blew my mind. We are starting out at number 10 with Urza Lord Protector from the Brothers War. This price has dropped significantly since release, being over a $40 card, now being able to be bought for 25 bucks Canadian, or on the market here you can see $11.55 US. The average price is $13.93 a foil, $18.80. I kind of like that variation in price. This is where a foil should be for its rarity and how difficult it is to get. So I really hope they actually make more cards like this and cut down foil production. And then it's €13.14 to get this card into your house. Now it may not seem like the biggest amount of sales, being 695 sales this week, but this card hasn't been on the list for countless weeks now. So the fact it's made its way back onto the list, people are diversifying their money. They're picking up cards right now while they're cheap because they probably don't want to go back and crack more Brothers War, but they do want to pick up some of the singles for future use. And that's what you see happening here with Urza Lord Protector. You can get the Weak Stone Might Stone. It's only going to cost you, what, $4, $5? You can get the combo now of these two together, and it's going to cost you less than $25. That is a great card, great combination. I can see why people are diving in. Now the number 9 card. Emry, Lurker of the Loch, Throne of Eldraine. Average price only $1.89. The market price $1.34. A foil $4.24. Wow, that's like double the price, right? It's almost as if these foils were harder to get in Throne of Eldraine. That's weird. And of course, €1.99 to get that card in your house. Now, 790 sales. People may have forgotten about this card. I called it out earlier on because it was a card that I thought could connect to Mox Amber. We look at Lurker of the Loch, 1 blue, 2 other, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. It's a 1/2. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. And of course, I was thinking Mox Amber at the time. Made perfect sense to me. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. When Emry, Lurker of the Loch enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Great for dredge decks. And of course, choose target artifact in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. An amazing card to go dredging and bringing things back. And with the cards we've seen in Brothers War, upcoming sets coming, and who knows what else, when we go back to Eldraine, this makes a perfect example of a card that can find a resurgence in popularity, which apparently it's doing right now. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the number 8 card this week, and it is going to be Elesh Norn, Grand Symbiote. Cenobite? That sounds good to me. New Phyrexia. 803 sales this week, okay? Now, the market price is $41.55 US. The average price is $36.49 US. $112.73 for the foil. Remember back when New Phyrexia was out, guys, these were harder foils to get. They were difficult. I opened a lot of New Phyrexia. I never got Elesh Norn. I'll tell you that right now. And when we look here, it's €26.58 to get this card into your house. Now, for those who've never seen this card or used it, this is a 7 casting cost. You got 2 white, 5 other. It's a 4/7 with Vigilance. Other creatures you control get +2/+2. Creatures your opponent control get -2/-2. A very effective card. Not to mention the ways we can just like basically pop these things onto the battlefield now. And people are looking at the possibility of making these amazing Phyrexian kind of Praetor Commander decks. So get ready for this stuff. This is another tribal theme that can be carried through quite well now with the amount of cards they've given us to use. Way to go, Elesh Norn. I can see why you're so popular. And by the way, here in Canada, it's around 55 bucks Canadian for a near mint copy. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 7. Kenrith, the Returned King, Throne of Eldraine. Now, this is very interesting to me. 963 sales. This card is $6.25 US as an average price. The market is $6.16, €4.12 to get this card into your house. 963 sales. We all know a super popular commander card. After Golos got like wiped out and banned, Kenrith really took over a spot for a lot of players, having a lot of fun with a 5-color commander. I've seen this in numerous friends' decks when I play against them all the time. Even if they're not using him for what he is, they like that 5-color combination. I see friends build with Joda too now, but Kenrith is here. We're going back to Eldraine. This card made the list because of its sheer volume of sales. Way to go, man. I think he died, didn't he, though, inside of March the Machine, but maybe people just feel pity for him, and they got to buy a couple copies now for the remembrance. All right, guys, let's jump down to number 6. The Haywire Mite is back again. 1,023 sales this week. And look at the price. Remember we joked when it first came out? We said it's only like a 90-cent card. And I said this is one of those cards that was going to go higher. Look where it is now. The average price is $3.33 US. The market price, $2.91. A foil is $4.89. €1.72 to get this card into your house. About $5 here in Canada. Now, be afraid of this card. It's a 1 casting cost generic for a 1/1. When it dies, you gain 2 life. You can sacrifice it to exile a target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. The reason I said be afraid, this is going to get reprinted. If you've bought cards speculating on this card, good for you. You're probably going to make a lot of money if you can liquidate and get out. If you're one of those people who bought this card for the 70, 80 cents when it came out, you're going to do very well liquidating. If you bought 100 copies, a store is going to take them. They'll take that trade in at $2, give you a couple $100 and trade it, and you can trade up to basically like half of a dual land just if you spec'd on this card. But it is going to get reprinted. Just like Deadly Dispute came out again in Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, I knew it was going to get reprinted. Same thing here. Do not expect this card to keep climbing. It's going to come out again. It's going to get reprinted. Be prepared. Okay, guys, just letting you guys all know in case you're thinking it's going to be a few years. No, within 24 months, this thing's definitely coming out. All right, guys, the number 5 card this week. A Hoarding Broodlord, okay? March of the Machine. Now, 1,268 sales is significant. I have used this card occasionally so far, and I'm trying it out in Arena. I'm not that fond of it, but let's take a closer look at the card. It's less than a couple of dollars. You can see it on the screen. I'm not going to take time on commenting on the price right now because it is a very cheap card. But a 5 casting cost generic with 3 black. That means you're dedicated to black mana. It is a creature, it's a dragon. So yes, dragon commander decks could use it possibly. It has Convoke, which is interesting. Now, flying. When the Hoarding Bloodlord enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, exile it face down, and for as long as that card remains exiled, you can play it. Okay, the spells you cast from exile have Convoke. There's a reason why this card is useful. I can see why people are buying it and using it for Dragon Commander decks. I myself am not convinced to put it in, but it's an interesting card that will have some use. The longer cards like this exist, the more time there is for players to find the pitfalls, the bonuses, the give and take of a card to decide if it's worth it. This one's got some legs to it, and at this price range, you're going to see people probably speculating on it, so I'm not surprised the sales are this high. Now, number 4, Swords to Plowshare, Commander version of March the Machine. There was other sales, but it's the Commander deck version, and I believe that is because a whole bunch of stores I know said they cracked some Commander decks, and they were selling a whole bunch of these. And you saw a whole bunch selling on TCG Player. Just a lot of sales overall. I mean, 1,526 sales is a lot. This card's less than $1, but it is Swords to Plowshares. Now, everyone uses this card, okay? I actually think they should take a break from printing this card. Just give it 5-10 years. Don't print it. Let it stay in rotation, of course. Let people use it in Commander. Don't ban it anywhere. But give it a break. We love the card. It's a go-to. But make people be surprised once in a while, Wizards. You know, we know it's going to be there. But this one sold a whole bunch of copies. It's not my favorite artwork by any means. It's the one with the guy going from like the farmer's scythe over to like from a warrior to the farmer's scythe one, that kind of transitional phase. That's my favorite one. I like it better even than the original. And I don't usually say that, but that art just really got me. So great card, great price. I mean, hey, it's less than $1. Can't go wrong. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the number 3 card. And that's the Shattered Spire. 1,961 sales. And you'll notice the price is actually starting to trend up just slightly because there is less of this available on the market. When the sales are this high and the supply is low, it's going to force the price up 10 or 20 cents at a time. So keep that stuff in mind if you haven't bought your copies yet. Market price is $4.87. Average price Market price, $4.87. Read it right, Moxman. Average price, $4.80 US. A foil, $5.36 US. €4, 93 cents to get this card in your house. It's about $7 here in Canada. But 1,961 sales. And this thing's been going for a few weeks now. There's only so many copies out there, and there might still be a higher demand for it going forward. This is a good card. Interesting to see. I'm surprised Realm Breaker did make the list this week. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the number 2 card this week. Breach the Multiverse, 2,100 sales. And the reason the sales on this are even, I'll be honest, I ran out of time. It probably should have been like 2180, 2150. I couldn't keep counting. It was too late. My eyeballs, I was like falling asleep, guys. So this is as far as I got for the count for this one. And it has an average price of $3.78 US. The market price is $4.56 US. A foil is $4.60. That's ridiculous. And it's 70 euro to get this card in your house. But let's take a closer look. This is a rare that is a sorcery. It is 2 black, 5 generic. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes Phyrexian, in addition to its other types. This is a very, very interesting card for Commander, and that's why it's seeing sales. This is why it's selling. It's super cheap. I don't know if they're going to reprint this one anytime soon, so you might see it drift upward over the next few months. You can see it was really low, and it's just starting to trend up now. Don't be surprised if this card hits that $15 level, okay? I know it should be around a $10 card. It may hit a little bit higher. If you don't have copies yet, get your place at a 4 and call it a day, and hold on to it. It's probably not getting a reprint as quickly as you might like, but this thing is going to be in rotation for a long time, so they're not going to reprint it inside rotation probably, so at least 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see as the money moves on how this card gets reacted to in the market, because it does do something kind of crazy for Commander players. Now let's go ahead. Let's take a look, guys. You've waited long enough. Let's check out number 1. Faerie Mastermind. I knew it. I told you guys this guy is something insane. 2,243 sales. Same deal as the Multiverse. I kind of was like getting all crazy with the eyeball counting. I just couldn't go on, so this is as far as I got. I apologize, guys. It may have reached as high as 2,500, but I couldn't keep counting. Now, this is one of those March of the Machine cards I called out right away for its uniqueness. Now, you can see here, the price has drifted down. It's staying stable. It's around the $10 to $12 mark, like I thought. The market price, $11.24. It probably will drift a little bit further down, but it might see an uptick with the Wilds of Eldraine. Keep that in mind. Average price, $11.50. Foil, $13.01 US. €8, 62 cents to get this card in your house. $15 here in Canada. And in case anyone has failed to recognize that this guy is a mastermind, he's a tactician extraordinaire, guys, he has Flash. He is 1 blue, 1 generic, and he has Flash. He's a 2/1 flying creature. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. So anybody who's doing multiple draws, you get to benefit, but you also can pay 1 blue and 3 other. And each player just draws a card. Again, amazing for Commander, but it seems like they're leaning with some of these cards that we've seen from the Fairies in the last couple of years toward another version of tribal decks for Fairies. It makes sense. And we're going back to Wilds of Eldraine, which will give us more Fairies, which means expect to see an uptick on the reserve list for the Willow Priestess and the Fairy Noble, because both of those bad boys there give bonuses and benefits, and just like if you have some super high casting cost Fairy, Willow Priestess will be able to pump that stuff out. It's crazy. But this was it, guys. The amount of sales was just awe-inspiring, and they were all over. There was tons of cards in that 500 to 600 range that just didn't make the cut, but there was so many sales across so many levels that I was kind of like having to pick and choose some a little bit here, which is unusual for this time. I knew March of the Machines would have a slowdown. You could just read that in the writing. You can see it. After all these top 10 videos, the last couple of years, we can actually kind of start telling when things are going to peter out ahead of time. I can look at it and say, oh yeah, this is slowing down, that's going to uptick, and what new cards will come in to fill the void. And this is where people put their money. And there's obviously a lot of nostalgia there going back to Throne of Eldraine. And people hitting up cards that are inside Brothers War makes perfect sense. The price have dropped so much after 120 days that this is the time to grab those cards for the longer term, because you made a lot of cost savings on those. Interesting times, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me on the channel and allowing me the honor of entertaining you guys each and every day of the week. 7 days a week, 7 videos. Thanks again to the amazing patrons. And of course, guys, we're getting closer to the 20,000 mark. So everyone who hits that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up. Looking forward to seeing you guys for the top 10 reserve list edition tomorrow. There's some game-changing cards there too. Looking forward to it. And of course, we have our amazing live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. I'll see you guys then as well. Have a great night, day, morning, evening. We're still here? Am I awake or am I asleep? I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. Klaatu Verata. Wait, wrong section. This is for the patrons. That's right. Don't forget, this is where the patrons, I show them the love because they are the ones who support this channel. They're the ones who get there. They stop my soul from being swallowed by the Necronomicon. We're getting closer, man. Getting closer. It's so exciting. And it's because of like the people like you guys out there. Yeah, sure, I'm persistent and I put videos every day. But without your guys' support, I would have given up. Without you guys being here watching the videos every day, this is awesome. To know we're this close, I know it seems like it's far away, but it's not. To me, it's glass half full. We're like moving in the right direction, and we get to have the 20K party soon. That is going to be epic. It is going to be just amazing. And I can't wait to do it all with you guys. So thanks again for supporting the channel. Thanks for being here. Now I'm going to drink my coffee and think about going to the dentist in a couple hours. I hate the dentist.